Hello and welcome to this new video where we're going to talk about the quartile 25% and the quartile 75%. It's the same principle and the same interpretation of it. The same interpretation in the median is the same as quartile 1 and quartile 3. It's also concepts in the measure of central tendency. This is what we continue to do. What we're gonna continue to do. So the measure of central tendency of quartile, that means 25% have 25% of the numbers of, for example, here a number of companies have investments 25 have investments inferior to the 25 to the value, and in the quarter 3, meaning that 75% have investment inferior to the value we're gonna look for, and 25% have a value superior to it. So I'm gonna explain very deeply how we can do that. Here we have slack investment for $1,000. Here number of companies. For example, we have 200,000. 10 companies have make an investment of 200k in 300k. For example, 30 we have most companies that invest 400k in 500k. Or yes, okay. So the same principle for the median. The only difference is that the median we calculate for the middle. 50% have, for example, investments inferior to that value, and 50% of companies have make an investment of that superior to that value. Okay, here we have key 1. In order for us to find the value which 25% of companies make an investment of, and 75% of the companies make an investment superior to the value we're gonna calculate. In order for us to do that, for example, if we want to median, we look for 80 divided by 2, or 80 multiplied by 50%. Here we have 80, which should be divided by 4, which is give us 20. That means 20 in the cumulative exists between 10 and 28. Okay, that means 10 is that means it exists between 300k and 400k. This is where Q1 exists, here, between here and here. That means 300 and 400. So we're gonna look for. I'm gonna explain with pencil and in the whiteboard how we're gonna do that. Okay. Here we have 10. We have 80 multiplied by 25%, it gives us 20, and exists between 28. That means the value we search for, which is key 1, exists between 300 and 400k. Okay, that means if we want to calculate the same formula goes on for the median. If you check last video about the median, 20 minus 10 divided by 28 minus 10. Q1 minus 300k, the value of investments. Then 400 minus 300. If we want, I'm gonna calculate that here. 20 minus 10 is 10. 28 minus 10 is 18. Q1 minus 300, then 400 minus 300 is 100. That means we make the rule of 3. 100 multiplied by 10 and 18 divided by 18. Okay, it gives us 1000. Divided by 18, Q1 minus 300. This will give us, if we calculate 1000, we're gonna make a calculator here. 1000 divided by 18, it will give us 500.55. 55.55. Okay, that means Q1 minus 300. The final value Q1 is 355.55K. The interpretation of it, that means there are 25% of companies, 25 of companies make this in this sampling. 25% of companies make an investment inferior to 355 $555, and 75% make an investment superior to $355,555. Okay, this is the Q1. Now we're gonna look for finding the value for the Q3. I'm gonna calculate. This means Q1 is $355. Okay, so that's the Q1. Q3, we're gonna calculate the Q3 based on values. That means 60 exists between 58 and 70, and Q3 exists between 500 and 600. This means we have here the median, the Q3 exists between 500 and 600. 60, that means we have 58. Exists 70, that means Q1. Q3 exists exists between 500 and 600. $500 and 600. Remember, we're gonna find we look for where the quartile of 75, the third quartile exists. That means we took 80 multiplied by three quarters, or multiplied by 75%. It will give us 60. Okay, that means exists here between 58 and 70. That means the value of the quartile 3 exists between 500 and 600. Q3 minus 500. I'm going to calculate it directly. 600 minus 500, it will give us 100. 60 minus 58, it will give us 2. Okay, and 70 minus 58, it will give us 12. Okay, I'm gonna look for calculating that. That means Q3 minus 500 according to rule of 3. 2 multiplied by 100 is 200, divided by 12. Okay, that means Q3 equal to 200 divided by 12 plus 500. We're gonna calculate 200 divided by 12. It will give us 60.666. Okay, plus 500 is 500. That means it equals to 516 666k. Okay, or dollars. That means 516,000 and $666. That means the interpretation of it, 75% of companies invest, of numbers of companies invest, invest 516,666 and 25% invest amount superior to that value, which is 516,666 dollars. Okay, Excel allows us to calculate directly the value of the quartile. Okay, let's here I'm gonna get back to the data for medical blood pressure we analyze. Okay, so for example, here we have the measure of central tendencies. We talked about it before. Here we have we look for key 1 and key 2. We have the factors, age, the factors contributing to cardiovascular risk. Okay, here we have age, systolic, diastolic, BME, and cholesterol levels. In order for us to calculate the key 1, the quartile, look for exclusive. We will look for a quartile exclusive. Okay, we select the area. Okay, then we look for the quartile, first quartile. Okay, 48. That means in these patients, 48 have 25% have age inferior to 48, age of 48, and 75% have age superior to 48. Systolic, we look for systolic, the same here. This 148. Quartile we select, we generate this, the same here. Diastolic is 97.425. BME is 30.77. And just to know how to calculate the quartile, the third quartile, not the second quartile. Second quartile meaning it means the median. So look for the third quartile, which is 75%. The third quartile, 75%, is 58. That means 75% of patients have age inferior to 58 and 3 quarters, and 25% have age superior to 58 and 3 quarters. We generate that. The same here. 148.55. I don't. Something wrong. Sorry. First quartile. We look for the third quartile. No, here we have the second. We should have the second quartile, first quartile. I make a mistake. Okay. Same here. The first quartile. The first quartile. Okay. The same here. The first quartile. And same goes on here. This first quartile. Here we have the third quartile. We're gonna generate that. And that's it for the values. So that's it for this video. We stay tuned for the next measure of dispersion, which is the dispersion, the characteristic of dispersion of variables, which is variance and standard deviation. It's very important concept in descriptive statistics also. We finished with measuring central tendencies. Now we're gonna look for the measure of dispersion in datasets. I'm gonna explain why we call it the measure of dispersion. Okay, so that's it for you for this the concept of Q1, the first question, the third quartile. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for the next video that we're gonna talk about the variance and the standard deviation.